Kelele Studios. A very good afternoon and a big welcome to Power Table with Salasya TV. I'm your host, Faith Shikanga. Now, I have a little surprise for you. Well, for the past 1 week, he has sparked headlines owing to his audacious moves. And yes, he's a leader, but a man of multiple hats. Ladies and gentlemen, Honorable Peter Salasya is our guest today. Karibu sana.
Asante.
Yeah, uko salama?
Niko fiti kabisa. Yeah.
Now, this being our very first show, Power Table, Mheshimiwa, how do you feel to be our very first guest?
First of all, this is the first time that we are being here, and I feel honored to be the first person on the show.
Okay.
So we believe that it's going to be a very good show, whereby you're going to bring many more guests and speak about what they feel to speak about, depending with the agenda of the discussion we want them to discuss about. Yeah, so I feel privileged and honored.
Yeah.
Yes.
Indeed. Now, according to you, the current advisors of the president, owing to the speech, the very powerful speech that you had, according to you, the current advisors of the president are a bit inept at their job, and you consider yourself as the best fit. Why do you think you should be the best advisor to the president?
First of all, I say that I feel like, or maybe Kenyans, they feel like there is a lot of things that are not being done the way they expected. Okay, majority of them who voted for them, you realize that majority of the people who voted for Kenya Kwanza government are the young people, are the ones, and you find like the social media played a very key role, vital role in the re-election campaigns of the Kenya Kwanza government. So you realize that if these people they're feeling like they are not part of the decision making, they are not part of the government, they've been betrayed, because the agenda for that William Ruto had was about the bottom up, and even the bottom up narrative, like this is going to be a government of the hustlers, mama mboga, boda boda, mtu wa wilbaro, and all that. So you realize that now, after then, the people who were given the platform, the opportunity to serve in this government, they are the same people, the Seralak, the billionaires. They used to call them the COVID billionaires. They are now at the epicenter of everything. And you look at to declare their worth, some saying that I'm 3 billion worth, some whatever. So they like look at it and say that these people, they went there to protect their wealth and all that. So in addition to that, you realize that things are not working. You remember, in any leadership, every leader comes with a particular agenda. You look, for example, like somebody like Trump. When he came into the power, he is talking about reviving the economy and fighting the illegal immigrants. That is his key agenda. And maybe talking about the issue to do with there is the illegal immigrants. He's talking about fighting. They bring back the glory, making America the MAGA.
Back the glory of America.
Yes, the MAGA. Then that was the main thing that is trying to address. And you realize that the most immediate thing that when he saw they took the power, he signed. And even you look at his campaign, he was talking about the male only identifying two gender, that is male and female. And the moment he remained to be consistent to the agenda. Now you look at the current government that we have, they switched. They were talking about the economy. now the things that they're doing, they're not resonating with the common mwananchi. And that's why I find like you look at things to do with the education system. They have tempered with the education system in this country. They have tempered with the education, the healthcare system in this nation. And even the people feels like the people who are on the payslip. Remember, Kenya is a capitalism. We are not a communism country.
Yeah, we are not.
And you look at a country like Tanzania, they were doing what you call the socialism, the communism during the Nyerere times. And you feel like those are the things that have made Tanzania to lag behind in terms of development and all that.
Yeah.
So you realize that the reason why I decided to say that I need to be his a personal advisor,
Yeah.
so that I can speak directly into his eyes.
Yeah.
And tell him that, Madam President, this is what is happening, and we need to fix this matter before it's late.
Yeah.
And those were some of the areas Kenyans feel like, and then Kenyans were feeling like they have no person, the ear.
Yeah.
They thought that, for example, after the reshuffles from the CS to the new cabinet, they were having a lot of expectations, blah blah blah, and so you realize that after those changes, still they have not understood. He is not getting it right, and maybe listening, because listening is by the action. Kenyans wants the action.
So you still believe we do not have a listening president?
Yes, definitely. Yes, because you remember when I raised the issues, then you being profiled as a junior politician,
exactly,
who has no authority, who has no iota to address what exactly needs to be told. And you see, this is the first time in history whereby the president is meeting with somebody and telling him face to face that, hey guy, things are not right. So that now we should not be having an excuse at any given point that maybe he doesn't follow the social media, he doesn't do whatever.
Exactly.
And so we went for that. So
Nice.
And Kenyans were so happy
Nice.
that this is the voice that we are waiting for.
Exactly. Now, still on the tour, I just want to know, because according to you, the tour that the president made, according to you, the tour is just a performative tour, a blend of politicking, and it's not really authentic. Why so, Mheshimiwa?
You look at this issue. Let's say that you spend the whole week in Kakamega or in Western. Let's look at Western. Let's look at Western as per se. Because I said before that I will not join the president until he finished the uncompleted projects, which are very key and pertinent to us. You remember what Kindiki said recently. It differed with what Wetangula said, the speaker, that the members of parliament should not be asking for development in rallies, because this budget comes from the parliament. But now the question comes: you heard what the deputy president, Luis Kindiki, saying that the executive, he was confirming to the point that I say that members of parliament, there is very little that they have to do during that time of budgeting process, because most of the budgeting estimates, they come from the executive through with the help of the treasury and through the indulgence of the ministries. So the parliament just come to see and just to pass. And because we do not have the independent parliament, the parliament that has been taken over, there's very little. As long as
you consider that the parliament is not really independent as we
it's not
think
independent,
it
it's not independent.
Yeah, we'll get
and that's why I said recently that you find the Speaker of the National Assembly being one of the people on the top of the roof of the cars, talking about the agenda of Kenya Kwanza, when they ought to be a neutral point of view that even it can also instill some confidence to other members of the opposition that we have a father or a referee who is equal to the task. But now, if you're going to the field, you know that already this referee is on the other side of the game. Then it will not even give you the morale. That's why we will make more noises outside here, because maybe we might be hard.
So you feel he's taking sides?
Definitely, yes. And that's why now he's talking about the agenda. And that is where we have gone wrong as a parliament, we've gone wrong as a country. Yeah, and let me just come to the point that when he came to Kakamega, let me talk about Kakamega in general. In Kakamega, we have how many constituencies? We have 12 constituencies. And out of these 12 constituencies, you realize that we have the Matungu. He didn't go to Matungu constituency. We have Navaholo. He didn't go to Navaholo constituency. We have Butere. He didn't go to Butere constituency. We have Lugari. He didn't go to Lugari. Maybe I can assume that maybe he was the other time. Malava. He didn't go there to Malava. We are having Lurambi. So you realize that he came to Mumias, which is Mumias Sugar, which is partly is in Mumias East and partly in Mumias West. And then went to Mumias West to relaunch another road that was there. He'd stalled that he was there again. He went there. I don't know what was the essence of going to go and maybe
relaunch.
Maybe relaunching again. Then you went to Huisero to launch a level 4 hospital, which a level 4 hospital is a function that is meant for the county government when he has left the level 6 county referral hospital. That we are trying to look at it as a mega project that was started in the previous regime. And it's stalled on the way. And then they asked the county government of Kakamega County to legislate about it and to take it back to the national government. But now, after they took it, nothing happened. He never even went to go there, because it was one of the first things that he said that the first visit, he visited the referral hospital, and I was part of the delegation that received him. And he alluded to give 250 million so that at least to push it to be given. Because we are saying this because the budget comes always from the executive.
Now, Mheshimiwa,
look at that. Then he left. He went to open a new road in Shinyalu. When you have the roads at the one from Mumias East to Navajola, as told, the one for Lurambi and Navajolo to, I don't know, is it Muskoma, as told. We have another one from the Jamindas all the way to Ikolomani, as told. So, and then brought the bonus thing that I raised the question, like, for example, yes, it's good to give the people the bonus. Exactly. It's good. But remember, we have a rule of law in this country. The law is there that guides, even when we are seated here. When we came here, there is a protocol that we have been given. You don't have to move. There is a law. And we are governed by the Constitution of the Republic of Kenya. So when you wake up as a president and say that, I want this money to go to this person, this one to go to this, that is not how things can be done.
Because so, according to him, it was meant to enhance production.
The thing is with like handout to the farmers. And being handout to the farmers, number one, we are looking at consistency part of it. That is, giving the money to the farmers, I don't have a problem. It is very important that farmers should be given the money and enjoy also. But remember, the sugar industry also, we're trying to see what about next year. Because we want to look at next year, this company being on receivership, it has a law that guides after they have cleared the secured creditors, because they pay 50 million each for months. So maybe let's assume that they have worked for 6 months or so for last year, because now that is when they were keeping, they were working now.
Yeah.
Maybe they contribute like 300 million, but they wanted all that 300 million to go to the farmers so that they can come and lie to the people that they are making profit. But instead, they have come to pickpocket a naked man, because we expect Mia Sugar now to work on how to improve its productivity by enhancing new technology, among other things, and also paying the creditors so that this company can get back to the owners who are the shareholders. But now when you go and take the monies that are being paid as rent to them, meant to pay the creditors, both secured and unsecured, then it means that you want the investor to overstay there. If he could have to stay there for 20 years, for example, maybe, or whichever the period is it, then it means that he'll have to extend the period of staying there. So which means that you are not solving a long-term solution. You are only coming there to do a populist politics that you are saying that you don't want to do populist politics, but instead you are hurting the investor, Kenya Commercial Bank, which is supposed to, which is the receiver.
Yeah, because he made it very clear that whatever he's doing has nothing, it's not tied up to politics, according to him.
That's pure politics.
Okay, those are your thoughts. Now, let's dive into Sha, because I get it. One of the very key issues that you addressed during your speech, key among them was, of course, Sha. Now, we do acknowledge it, Mheshimiwa. Sha does have its inefficiencies, clearly, but according to you, even the term inefficiency is an understatement. You think that the Sha insurance is a complete, it's a total scam. Why so?
First of all, we said this thing before, that in everything, there must be what you call the public participation.
Yeah.
And in everything that we do, there must also be involved all the they call them the stakeholders.
Yeah.
And who are the stakeholders in the health sector and in the healthcare system? We have the Ministry of Health.
Yeah.
We have the insurance companies that are there. We have the government itself. We have the public hospitals, private hospitals, and then there is Mwananchi at the end of the day. So you look at how, what was the main agenda about this thing called the SHA? The SHA. The SHA was all about to, maybe from there, it's to bring the idea of universal healthcare. The universal healthcare, that's why we had what we call the pilot study that was taken in Kisumu and part of the Machakos. Yeah. And I think it was prudent enough to look at this county, because I remember when Uhuru launched the universal healthcare coverage, we could have got a report, the successes, the excess, is it the excess, the storytelling of the universal healthcare, how it happened in Kisumu County, because Kisumu was taken as, I remember that vividly during that time of Uhuru Kenyatta about that. And Machakos, we have a report, and this report gets to be discussed and say that now, when we had this universal healthcare that was being done under the county government of Kisumu, this was the achievements out of it. Then now we get to know from that point of view, we'll be able to relate it and make conclusions. Let's say that this was the mistakes that were there. This was the experience, blah, blah. We take it from Machakos, and then now we conclude, and then now we see if we can be able to roll from other counties. If now that is the concept of universal healthcare. Or, like now we know we have what you call, the devolved functions of these, of the governments, devolved functions of the governments. And each county should be independent. That's why when you go to America, each state is independent. It's on its own. You find, like, for example, you go to another one, the cannabis, is it sativa cannabis or whatever,
cannabis sativa
is allowed.
Yeah.
They go to others, the mogoka is allowed, others they don't. Others they allow the gayism, others they do not allow, others they allow there's what we call maybe they call them mambo ya abortion.
Yeah.
Other states do not allow. Yeah. So they are independent in how. So if these people could have seen, and each county, and I said, and you let's look at the agenda.
Yeah.
That maybe during that meal, like taking that one was to diversify. Like this county, we can make it to be productive in this area, in this particular economic activity and all that. But now, these county governments, then the national government asks these county governments, like for example, which county is willing to run a healthcare system, universal healthcare, with the records they have, the system and everything. So now, from that point of view, they can now roll it out and do it. But now with this one, they went to do it over. And you see, if we could be in a serious country that is key in protection of human being, even president could have moved away because he tampered with the healthcare system, and the healthcare system failed. And so, because why am I saying that it was a
scam? That is what you termed it.
That is what is it.
Exactly.
So I was just trying to tell you the basis of maybe that is in quotes what they really wanted to achieve. They wanted to achieve in terms of everybody getting the health.
Yeah, everybody being a beneficiary of that.
But remember, I also say that we are in a capitalism country.
Yeah.
So I was trying to say that they could have gone down by the county. So we roll in this county like Kisumu, we go the other like 2 or 3 or so. Now, why is scam? Is because they never involved the report. First of all, they didn't give us the report from the 2 counties that were doing the universal healthcare coverage. That's number 1 mistake they did. Number 2 mistake they did is that when they were genuine, they could have told the people that we are going to start a new healthcare system by the way they were just saying that 1st August. We are going. So, in mind, that could have been a very good reason to tell Kenyans that start registering into the SHA program. They have already prepared all. Or do we have what you call the transition team from NHIF to SHA. And then remember also, the people that they want these people to implement the SHA, they are the same people that their jobs are at risk. The people who are working with NHIF, they have to reapply for their jobs. If I know this is the system that is going, my work is at...
it might jeopardize your work.
Yeah. So how will they accept the directors of the... Because NHIF has its owners. The board of directors were there. So the thing could have been to bring and improve the NHIF program, but not to do away with the system completely and start telling the people to register. And now they are not clear. Some they say to register you need 300 shillings. Some when they are on the roof, president says that it is free of charge. Ni fair to niuliza. And then remember insurance. It is a pool whereby we bring, then we take risk of whatever. So now that is number 1. Another point that this thing is not going to work. Then look at how even it's being handled. When I asked about these things, the speaker told me, Mimi, I'm entitled to Old Mutual. We get an insurance policy called Old Mutual. The Old Mutual now, I'm not supposed to pay to ask anything to do with SHA because I'm not eligible to use the SHA. Now remember, in my salary, in my payslip, I pay 27,000 to SHA. So which means I also have a right,
like any other
Kenyans, to know where my money is going.
No.
Unana?
Yeah, true.
Then only another thing. Then number 2, now the last one about the thing. When we were they were doing away with the NHIF, and I said it. They never told us when NHIF how many billions of shillings had been remained with NHIF. How much are we putting into the NHIF? But wanatukata pesa ya SHA all along, and people are not getting treatment. And who are these providers, service providers in this? They've given to an Indian person who is running in a specific hospital. Maybe you go to Nairobi West, you get the treatment, SHA is working. Other hospitals is not. So cartels have taken it over, and it's not going to work.
Now,
so
the implementers of the very SHA, and in particular the PS, she does claim that a committee has been set. She acknowledges that the SHA, it does have technical hitches and with the incomplete benefit of list. So she's claimed that a committee is set to address such issues. Do you think that is satisfactory enough for the SHA?
It's not going to work at all. Because how can you expect that... NHIF had rules. Yeah. For example, it says that for maybe dialysis, they give you up to this much. Yeah. If for the ICU, maybe they give you 15,000 a day. If there is a bed, they give you up to this amount. So it had well stipulated guidelines. But now with this one, they are saying they are going to give you 4,500 an ICU bed. Under which ICU bed which hospital can provide a bed with 4,500? Nowhere.
Exactly.
Huh?
Yeah.
And so they want to say, when you ask them, they say, they bring 2 or 3 people to come and tell you that SHA imenilipia juzi. SHA, total pure lies.
Yeah, because we've had witnesses who claim that it does work.
There are nothing like witnesses. Yeah. Remember, these people, we need also to ask ourselves. There was also monies that were being paid to the secondary schools. There was a program that was there, that the money were being given to the young, and then the cover. There was a cover that was covering between children of going to school up to 18 years. That if your kid gets sick in high school, primary school, as long as it's below 18 years,
he's guaranteed.
He's guaranteed for treatment. Yeah. As a parent, you could not be come and asked and be told like your son or your daughter is sick. Yeah. What the teacher takes to the hospital, then he gets paid. Right. So that one tells you it was universal. Do you know what is called a universal? It's just like across the board.
Yeah, it's collective.
It was collective.
Yeah.
You know, and I think if we could have just had that program, we maintain the program. Yeah. Then we come and maintain this program of NHIF. Then we had also the Linda Mama. We also need to ask the monies that used to go to the Linda Mama. Yeah. Where did it go to? In whose pockets did it go to? Yeah. So at the end of the day, if we are covering Linda Mama, we are covering the young children, we are also having the energy that is general. Then we just look for the elderly people. Say that they're also entitled to health, to healthcare system, to healthcare. Then now we come with their program. Then we will already have taken care of the issues to do with the healthcare system at all. So with all this, Mara, they have told us they come with the Taifa Care. Yeah. What is the Taifa Care? That is
from the word Taifa. It's meant for Taifa.
Which now, there is just word. There is what we call the theory, and then there is what we call the practical.
Yeah.
So Kenyans, they want to show the practical part of it.
Yeah, you've made it very clear. You think those insurance companies that are emerging, it's purely just performative. And then
if you do the research, you find that they are the insurance companies of the big boys or the who is who. And so it can't work. So unless now we say that we recall, and because we are going to go back to the parliament, we are going to reconstitute, to recall NHIF. And we are going to do it. I know we are going to bring a lot of problems when the moment we come back.
Okay.
It will might be few,
Yeah.
but I know there is what we call also in the parliament. There is they have also created some kind of cartelism, whereby for your motion they have to sit together, discuss it before they bring it.
Yeah.
But we will also we will remind them when we get there to recall SHA and reinstate the NHIF program. We are going to bring back that act so that we do away with this nonsense that is happening today.
Exactly, and we will be here to invite you over and over again when you've already made what you considered, the very productive noises. Now, switching gears a bit, Mheshimiwa, let's move to Mumia sub-county, to be very precise. Now, owing to the recent, of course, removal of this sponsoring of the sports meant for particularly the grassroots players, the grassroots teams. Right now, the NGCDF fund does not really support sports, but we saw it should be last year, a very massive classic cup was organized, of course, by you. So I just want to know, did you get any partners perhaps to help you organize the massive classic cup?
Maybe I just want to, now we are dealing with the national issues at the moment. Maybe because now we've just tackled the issue to do with the SHA.
Yeah.
I would wish that now we also look at this issue with the national things.
Yeah.
The kid then will come back to that one.
Yeah.
Maybe we could just also discuss about this issue called, but we're gonna come back there.
Yeah.
But I would wish before I forget, we talk about the new funding model.
The new funding model.
Yes.
Yeah.
So and maybe this is a very key thing that maybe before I forget, I can just talk about it, and maybe this is my call. There's also something that the government has also just done.
Yeah.
They want to do away with what you call the HELB.
Yeah.
They want to bring a new model fund.
Yeah, meant for bands.
They want to university fund.
Yeah.
And they want to do with the and also the HELB and whatever. You realize that again they have messed up with what was done with serious research, innovations and everything. As we speak right now, most of the young people in the universities that are doing their exams with the big arrears. The question comes now, what is the future of our education?
Well, according to them, the new funding model is meant to, they think it will be suitable for people according to their backgrounds. Yeah.
No, let me ask you a question. Like, for example, under which maybe like it is discriminatory, and that is why I find like, for example, let me ask you a question. You find today you have the cars, you have the cars. Tomorrow you come to be auctioned. How will you rate that person? Because now they're looking at the pay slip, or tomorrow you get sacked from the job. How will it take? Or maybe you get a lot of money. Maybe you took that money, you never invested that money. You put into your things. Now they say that you are rich kid.
They consider you as a rich kid.
That's why we say that with the issue of university funding, I know we have a very big challenge in terms of the implementation of the CBC and other things, but now there was no need for doing away with the HELB. And the moment you tamper with the HELB, because you see the problem, the public universities, you will say that universities are suffering. There are those universities that are doing so well.
Yeah, true.
University of Nairobi is doing so well. University of Kenyatta is not being like, they get on university because of the management. So you cannot transfer the problem of one university to the rest of other universities. It's because of the management. And that's why we say that with the new model funding, they have given more powers to the university vice chancellors to increase the fees or the fees. Like right now, the medicine, they get it to about 700,000. And then you look at the bundles, they will tell you like you have to contribute. If you have the scholarship, like 5%. That is the minimum, around 5 or 10%. That is 10% of the amount, which is about 70,000. So a child who is intelligent from a poor background, it means even to raise that 70,000 or 35,000, it cannot happen. And again, the way it is, the like out of 105, we had 78,000 cases appeal that someone feels that he was put in a wrong bundle. So
I was even almost coming to that. Do you feel that most learners are being misplaced in the wrong bundle?
That is the point. They are being placed in a wrong. Number one, the model has put the parents to be vulnerable position, because number one, it has given the universities powers to increase, like the list maybe find is 200,000, maybe education per year and whatever. So with this one, parent is nowhere. The main beneficiary in this thing are the universities and maybe the universities themselves, the university, but parents have no right or the students. So that is why we say that if he feels that he wants to support the public university, can he allow those students? I know we have a deficit of universities. We don't have enough universities to accommodate all students at the university. But also, we can also say that if it is a must that we have to make, we can also bring and maybe raise the people who are going, so we can have, if we know that we're having like 20 public universities, we know that they can absorb this number of the students. Then we'll work with
a number.
We'll work with the number. And then now from there, we enhance the technical colleges and all that. And also we need also to devise, if someone has done a diploma and has got the credit, he can be consumerate to that person maybe who is done maybe a degree with a lower class division or something of the sort. So we must also try and remove, allow even the one with the degree, we remove at the minimum. We must also try to enhance the technical colleges, like the diploma. We must also try and say we put it open in our job adverts. We put it, so long as it's a diploma, we put up so that we can also encourage students to go to the technical, to the TTIs. That is also, so that we encourage, we remove the overflow from the numbers that are in the public universities. And then we say, let the public university receive those who are vulnerable. Those who are rich kids, we can try to balance and say, let this private university maybe visit the support. We can subsidize, because they also have a right. Everybody. And we can say education should be, everybody should be treated equally. Because everybody pays the taxes. Hata ule mama mboga analipa tax. He pays the tax. Kwa sababu anatumia mafuta taa. Hiyo mafuta taa imetaxiwa. And is paying, ananunua sabuni. Hiyo sabuni analipia tax. So it should be, education should never be a discriminatory at any given point. So we are also going to recall. I know they are bringing the merging of those things. We're going to refuse. We're going to instill the help. We're not going to allow help to go anywhere, because help has a history. And we cannot change this country at one point. That we want to reform everything. We will be confused. And we want to ask the president that let him identify one area and say, if it's agriculture, let me invest in agriculture. If it is the roads, let him finish the stalled projects. He should not disturb himself. And that is, then I think that is on the point of the new model, the new funding model. One thing I want to assure the Kenyans that we're going to recall the new model funding as we are recalled for the SHA. That is also another point that we're going to recall.
Okay, nice. So yeah, now still on that, I would just want to move to the executive a bit, because in fact, let me just quote your very words. You claim that the current speaker is going down in history as one of the speakers that is always seen in the rallies of the president. And according to that, you think that he's not being objective, and he might just be taking sides. Why do you think about that?
I think it's even it's wrong for the members of parliament, like the majority leader, always being, parliament must be separated. The way they treat the parliament is the same way they think they can also treat. They also expect, because we have the parliament, we have the arms of government. You studied this thing in history. We have studies. The social studies. We have government's judiciary. We have executive. So the executive wants to be everywhere. They want to be the judiciary. They want to be the parliament. So they also expect even the judiciary, the CJ, also to be in the rallies, because if they can take over the speaker, now what stops them also to tell the Martha Koome to be also on the rally talking about the way Wetangula is talking about the government agenda. You see? And that's why now there must be separation of powers. And I think if there is any point that we should reform this country, to on how strengthening these and separating the powers, the power of the parliament, whereby I know it's a system, a democracy, but now Kenyans, we cannot do the same things the same time always. If we find like we've been doing this thing and it's not working for us, then we have to look at, because what if we have a rogue president who wants to be like the one we have, like he wants to be the parliament, he wants to be everything,
he wants to be the judiciary,
he wants to be, so you find like we're gonna get it wrong. So we must say that in the coming years, the political parties should not have a leeway to micromanage members of parliament. Members of parliament must be left to be independent, to elect themselves who to be their chair, their leader, who to be their opposition leader, without the influence. And they should be like, for example, ile kura ya Mlolongo. It should not be or a secret one. It should be either secret or whatever, but it can be even secret. Whereby today we are going to vote for majority leader. Right? The majority leader tunamappoint. This is the majority leader, huyu and huyu tuwekele. So this majority leader will have the interest of the members of parliament. And when now the majority leader have the interest of the members now will have the interest of the common mwananchi. And that's why when you heard about the finance bill,
exactly my point,
the members could die with the finance bill, because it has come from, the instructions come from their boss.
Because Muheshimiwa, it is at that very point, the finance bill, that citizens did feel their voices are not really heard, and this is not what most of our voices command.
That is the point. And that is what, for the first time in history, this is the first parliament that young people, being killed outside the parliament building, at the gates. And I was there. I saw the young guys being held like this with a flag. It was so painful that a young person dying in the hands at the gates of the parliament.
Of the very people who are supposed to represent them.
The same people were supposed to protect. And if these people could have sent this thing, they could have said no. Our people have said no. Let us not pass this thing on this Thursday, on that particular
day.
The dark day of Thursday. But they say they didn't want to listen to the people who they denoted their powers and gave us.
Yeah.
And they say that they went ahead and we must do this. Whether come rain, come sunshine, we must pass this finance bill, whether they like it or not. And that is why the members, Kenyans are bitter with the parliament, the 13th parliament.
Indeed.
And that is why you see, we must allow, and this one must be on record.
Yeah.
Once we elect, political parties cease to exist. Let them get the monies and deal with the members, reorganizing things, whatever, on the ground, if that is now they want to do business, political parties. But the moment you become a member of parliament, okay, we know we have, like in America, they will challenge me that in America, there is Congress, there are Democrats, there are those, but it has failed. So why can't we have an independent parliament that is not under, so that members, when we elect a leader, the majority leader, he knows that we are the people. If he fails to listen to us, even when he's pushing the agenda of the government, right?
Yeah.
And we should also allow the issue called the government side and the opposition side. It should cease. A parliament should just be a parliament. Wow. And what we want to say, and you see, that's why you find, like in these countries that have been having problems, they say let the president be there as a ceremonial leader, and then let's have the head of the government. And I think for the tribal issues, problems we have in this country, because you see Tanzania, they're ahead of us in terms of a united nation. Yeah. But as the lawyers are there speaking Tawe, others they are saying mambo ya milima, others sisi watu wa bonde la ufa, others sisi watu wa leg. So we must now look at ourselves as a country. The powers that we donate to the president, they misuse those powers. Why can't we have a president who is a ceremonial president, and then we have like the prime minister who is the head of the government, and this head of government must be elected by the maybe the people, or it can be elected by even the ceremonial be elected by the people. But now the government, the head of government, elected from the parliament, so that now if he messes around, he can go home. He can be impeached. But now with what is happening today, we will not get it right. And when we bring this country to order, we fix this country back to where it was. Right? Yeah.
Now, Mheshimiwa, I just like the fact that you've really talked profoundly about the parliament and how you've insisted on how independent it should be. So I just want to know, how about we go into the, solutions? What do you think should be done to, change the parliament, especially the view of the people? Because right now we see it as a mere rubber stamp of what the executive decides.
No, that's why we have said that going forward, when we want to make this country move, we must have a system, a continuity of a government. A government that is dependable. A country that can be trusted. A country that is predictable. A country that is, you can predict that in this year, we ought to be here.
Exactly.
You see?
Yeah.
Look at the countries like Morocco. They have the prime minister. He runs, then there's a king who is there just to oversee things running.
Yeah.
And you see, you go to Morocco, they are done so well. There's no politics at all. Now here we are just talking. Okay, now I'm putting aside, I'm a politician. But now I'm talking about the country that we want.
Yeah.
The country that we want to be there, the super country, the Kenya that we want to be. So if we can be able to do what I've just said, it's going to form. Because today we have a good president. After 10 years, we're going to have a rogue president. Another one comes and brings us back to where we get another one. He struggles, he brings us. So we can't continue like that as a country. Remember, we only have one country. And it's not about us. It is about the generations and the generations, the children of our children that are going to come. Which country are they going to find? You see?
Yeah.
So they must find a country that is secured.
True.
We're not just talking about the country that is going to be there for 100 years. We are talking about the country that is going to be there for 200 years.
Yeah, for a lifetime.
For the life.
Yeah.
Until Christ Jesus comes and takes us to heaven.
You take us to heaven, amen.
You see?
Yeah.
So that's why we are saying that we must have a system that is predictable. And you will find that Kenya will work. People will be united. There shall be no this versus that.
Yeah.
Unaona?
Yeah.
Tutakuwa sisi ni
Mkenya mmoja.
Mkenya mmoja.
Exactly.
If we can have a president as a ceremonial president, yeye kazi yake ni kwenda nje ya Kenya kurepresent Kenya. Na anakuja anatulia.
Yeah.
Analiliwa kama king. Kazi yake anakuja kama, for example, when the president venye amekuja juzi Mumias pale, amekuja kutembelea wananchi. Tuko pale nasema Igwe. And we don't expect much from him.
Exactly.
We don't expect. Yani akikuja ni kupiga story.
We roll out a red carpet for him.
We celebrate. You know, akikuja kama Western. We are celebrating him. He's our king.
There is no friction of uku na uku.
No politics at all. In fact, now he's commanding, like, when he comes like this. Yeah. You see, like the kings, you know, now he's just here. Okay, you come like this. You know, he listens to the people. Yeah. Just uniting the country.
Nice.
He goes to Bungoma, just listens to the people.
It's all about uniting.
It's all about uniting the people. Na nalindwa kama king.
That is a country we hopefully wish we can get.
Yes, but now with this one of the selfish power. Power can make you mad.
Yeah, drunk with power.
Yes.
So now, before we even we now switch to Mumias sub-county to be very precise. It's not all that serious in Power Table as much as it's the Power Table. So you being our very first guest, we have a little present just for you.
Maybe because I'm also a very good student.
Yeah.
You asked me about the CDF kitty, something of the sub-county. Yeah. I think we made mistake at one point as to remove the CDF kitty that was
from being funded by sports.
Yeah. Because you find like it was doing an amazing work, bringing our people together during the festive season. Yeah. Also identifying the talents and all that. That's why you find like most of the members of parliament will not be able to hold any
classic cups.
The tournaments that brings the youth together, bonding and all that. Yeah. So and it's a very hectic thing because for mine I had to do it independently because of the love I have for my people. Yeah. So it's also a matter. And maybe if I become the president of this country one day, what I will do, because I've seen what the CDF thing has done, it is marvelous. And you realize that if we can embrace the CDF, because it doesn't have the wage bill, it doesn't have what, And then we bring all those resources that we are giving to the counties, the billions of money. We give it to the CDF, yani at the constituency level, and manage that money. This country can be another, like for example, if you just give this money to the CDF, like let's say, for example, we are having like 290 constituencies. And you say, guys, with this 130 million that you have been giving, we have given you 1 billion. Let us see what you can do with these monies. Like, and then you see now, CDF, it has a procedure. If you don't utilize it well, they take it away from you. Because it has been done with the other members of parliament. So, you bring the list of projects that wants to be done. And you see with a committee of about like 7 people or so. I'm telling you what you will see. This country, the roads will, the constituencies will be building roads, tarmac roads will be all over.
The roads will be streamlined.
Roads will be streamlined. Water issues will not be the problem. We shall be having last mile for the road, tarmac roads, last mile for the electricity, last mile for the health care. Like every dispensary being equipped, being built. The schools, the standard schools, the standard to the level of the standards of schools. And then we just come up with maybe like for example, we just say Kakamega, Western. We only have maybe 1 governor. Like Kakamega can just come, say Kakamega, Busia, and the way we bring back the provinces just to coordinate with some few things, to coordinate some other key measure, and whereby we can be identifying like now dealing with the cities. This one is to deal with the cities now. We talk of Kakamega as a city. We talk of maybe Busia, Bungoma, Viga town, they're identifying. So now I want to deal with those ones. And then now I'm just giving like Western. Then Nyanza, like for example, we have the Kisumu, we have like Kisii, we have 1 person there. I'm telling you, and then we don't have so many people. I'm telling you, Kenya, we can do a lot of money. We can do, because now we devolve corruption. There's nothing we devolve. We are just devolving. Better we devolve small corruption. But big corruption.
I've taken something from you. We have just devolved corruption. That is what you've just said.
Definitely, yes.
Now, I'll just, from your explanation, maybe one would want to think, because you have this great vision for Kenya, is that another way to say that the current funds, you think they are insufficient?
Very much insufficient. You look at the work that CDF is not only Mumias East constituency, but you walk across, you will see, though now with good management, and if it can be monitored, because that money is being monitored from here at the CDF board. The eyes are like this, the auditors, and then we try to reduce the number of the auditors. You see now, audit, and by the way, people doesn't know, the auditors with the CDF, we have the internal auditors, external auditors, the EACC's auditors, the social auditors. We have the parliament auditor.
Do you suggest we cut down with the number of auditors?
No, it's good, but now we also ask them not to demand. Now also they also make it as a business. But anyway, that's another story of another day. But those are, it shows that they have a lot of structures. And that's why you cannot mess around with the monies to do with the CDF. If you mess it with just a little bit like this, you will be caught off. So that's why we are trying to say that this country, if it can have a person who leave alone people who want to be there to enrich themselves, but people who have just wants to focus to change this country and say that I want to make this country to be another Las Vegas, another US country. And Kenya is the best of the, is creme de la creme. Because I've gone in Africa countries, and I'll tell you, Kenya is the best country that people love fun.
Yeah.
And if they can just work on the economy, all we will be another headquarters of Africa here in Kenya.
Yeah, and I meant to that. You know, you're making me feel like a really proud Kenyan, and I hope
If you go outside there, you go to Nigeria, you will want to come back.
Oh, in Kenya.
If you go to Ghana, you will want to come back to Kenya. If you go to even Morocco is developed, but it's so darling, you want to come back to Kenya.
Yeah.
If you go to Tanzania, you want to come back to Kenya. I'm just counting to you some of the areas that I've been.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah.
Kenya itafika hapo. Now, just a reminder, of course, to our lovely viewers, we are coming live to you from Kelele Digital Studios. Now, Mheshimiwa, still on the sub-county, I just want to know, because of late we've seen the cases, the dispensing of wheelchairs. That is something that most leaders don't really embody, but it is something that you initiated. It's a new initiative, I must say. What compelled you to take that route?
First of all, you must get to understand that you have to get to understand, and I say this, that as a national government, they should support this non-governmental organization. We can't put the taxes on our people and expect our people to get the services. The reason why I'm saying this is that there are so many donors outside there who wants to support the citizens of this country, but because of the taxes measures that have been put on Kenyans or donors, the organizations, foundations, it makes the donors not to give us what we deserve to have. Even those ones, they're not for CDF, but it's through the foundation, the Peter Kalero Salasya Foundation, that we have been able to bring them on board. So we must also work on that. I think I'll also work on the paperwork, because I don't now this time round just to be talking and talking, but I also now need to reach a point whereby I can also address these issues in Parliament. I can also address these issues in Parliament, so that I should be all-round leader. I think that what I can say.
Yeah, nice. Now, just as we are wrapping up, Mheshimiwa, it's our gift time. I don't know if you remember about my little gift.
Yes.
Can I now hand it over, you being our first guest?
Yeah,
a little surprise. I just feel like we should be having some drum rolls, because this is a very special gift.
So do I stand?
Yeah, you should stand. You are our first guest. Now, this is how we treat our very first guest at Salasya TV.
Yes.
Come be our guest, and all we do is just award you.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm happy to see this guest.
Yeah.
And we are looking forward. We are looking forward to work together. And making this show, the power table grow bigger and bigger.
Exactly.
Thank you so much.
Karibu sana, and we should make it more and more powerful.
Thank you.
Tunashukuru sana Mheshimiwa for coming.
Yes.
Tunakushukuru sana. And remember, we are still here at Salasya TV. I've been your host, Faith Shikanga, and this is Power Table.
Thank you. Asante. Horio, what the cousin day? That's powerful, right? So we should be organizing at least every week. Then we look for other guests.
Yeah, exactly.
Na penye sioni kama iko live ama